Good morning. I now call the meeting of the Alabama Commission on Higher Education to order. I'd like to ask Commissioner Scott to lead us in prayer this morning.
We humbly come before you, Lord, giving you thanks. Yes, that you fill our hearts with the knowledge and information that we need to make good decisions for the state of Alabama. We especially thank Commissioner and those who work with the Commissioner on preparing all the documentation that we need. And may he continue with God's grace to do so. We ask that you humbly bless us again with making good decisions for the state of Alabama. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner Scott. Will everyone please stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dr. Purcell, please call the vote.
One moment.
Yes, sir.
There we are. We have the roll now. Amy Price,
Here.
Stan Nelson. Here. Ann Ford.
Here.
Harry Hobbs. Here. Paul Kennedy. Here. Payne Meadows. Here.
Doug Ragland.
Here.
Shane Spiller.
Here.
Rod Scott. Here. Jody Siggins.
Here.
Larry Turner. Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Dr. Purcell. Item 3 is approval of the agenda. Everyone should have had time to review the agenda. The chair will now entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The agenda is approved. Item 4 on the agenda is consideration of the minutes from our June 13th meeting. Everyone have time to review the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections as the minutes are presented? The chair will now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the June 13th meeting. So moved. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The minutes are approved. And what a great visit that was to USA in June. I want to thank USA again for such a great tour and visit and all their hospitality. Item 5 on the agenda is the chairman's report. And I do have a few announcements this morning. I would like to welcome all guests this morning, any institutional presidents that may be with us. And then I have a few others that I would like to recognize. Trish Jones, is Trish here this morning? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Trish, I understand this is your last 8 meeting.
No, I'm already retired. I'm just here today as my time.
Okay. So Trisha's been serving as the liaison from 8 to the community college system. So we appreciate all your good work and celebrate your work today. Thank you for being here. And then I understand we may have Miss Coretta Boykin. Thank you so much for being here, President of Reed State. We appreciate you being here and joining us this morning. And then Glenda Colagros. All right, interim dean at Reed State. Is that accurate? Yes. Okay. So thank you both for being here this morning. And then we have Dr. Hawkins is here from Troy University. So thank you, Dr. Hawkins, for being with us this morning.
Yeah.
Anyone else, Dr. Purcell?
I think I got everybody, but if not, raise your hand and I will declare as my error. Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and Glenda was also president of Northwest Souls prior to that. And now she's a floater for the ACCS system.
Well, excellent. Thank you all for being here. All right, next on the agenda, I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Purcell for his most recent award that was presented in July. recognizing Dr. Purcell as a state higher education executive officer who has demonstrated exceptional leadership, strong commitment to public service, and made significant contributions to higher education at both the state and national levels. Congratulations to Dr. Purcell on this outstanding honor. We could not be more proud of the work that he has done on behalf of AIC. Dr. Purcell has built bridges with higher education leaders across our state and has been an advocate for student success at all levels, including his work on the FAFSA completion rates, coupled with his work on expanding dual enrollment. Dr. Purcell has positively impacted the lives of many Alabamians. So thank you, Dr. Purcell, for your leadership. We are so proud of you. In other exciting news this morning, Commissioner Singleton has recently been elected as mayor of Headland. And so congratulations, Commissioner Singleton. Or condolences, right?
That was it.
Exciting times. All right, the next item on our agenda is the election of officers. So I'd like Commissioner Scott, the chair of our nominating committee, to give the nominating committee report this morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Price. The nominating committee included myself, Ann Forbes, and Larry Turner. And quite frankly, so easy. I hope everybody agrees with the process. Stan Nelson is recommended for chair, the 25-26 year. And Singleton is elected, is suggested to be the vice chair for the committee. It was a very easy process. I hope the whole committee agrees with the nominees for the 25-26.
Thank you, Commissioner Scott and nominating committee members. Appreciate your time and attention to the process. The chair will now entertain a motion to accept the nominating committee's recommendation.
So moved.
You have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign. The motion carries. Congratulations, commissioners. We'll look forward to you guys stepping up the next meeting. Item number 7 on the agenda is the executive director's report. So Dr. Purcell, we'll turn it over to you.
Well, it's been a good summer, and as far as the award is concerned, you know, it really takes the staff. So it's really all about having the right staff here. A lot of them are here already, and then of course we hired a few on in, and they did pretty good. So we're pretty excited about that. But we actually had a staff member that's been here probably 30 years working for us part-time. Dr. Jim Conley, he's our program officer, but he's also a classical organist, and he actually had a concert this summer. And a couple of our staff went down and saw his event. It was very nice down at the fancy church downtown, the Episcopal Church. You know, that's like high church in Alabama terms. It was very good classical music. We've had a lot of visits going around. We went to Minnesota. Robin had a nice presentation with a large group of people discussing academic type things. We were talking about how to expand enrollment for students conference. I just want to interrupt this with a political commercial. Singleton wing Headland mayor race, won with 89% of the vote, got on TV, promoted things.
That's amazing.
Sworn in, and of course he earned it. He was a long-time city councilman before he wanted to take the throne and everything. And this is a picture of his family at the
Beautiful.
so yes, not only a good family man, but also a good politician in his right own. So
Thank you,
congratulations
Doc.
again.
Yeah. Thank you. Nice.
We had some other people that won some things. This is Maddie Gregory. She's young, 13 or 14, but she won the National Little Britches Rodeo Association, and she came to the office to visit. And the reason she did is her person who's been helping her train that, as you know, we hired a new employee, Jessie Lynn, which you'll meet shortly, who was Miss Rodeo USA. So what happens when you become like prom queen or something, what you do is you train others.
That's right.
So anyway, so she was her trainer.
That's right.
Does that make sense? And then she was helping this young lady, and then what happened was, she got hired by me, and of course, they don't have sick days or vacation days, 6 months kind of thing. And then the national competition was in Oklahoma City, so Jessie Lynn convinced me that, I mean, not Jessie Lynn, but Maddie convinced me that I should let Jessie Lynn go. So she went over there, and since she was new, she met the higher ed office personnel and went to the higher ed board there to learn how they do it, in addition to training, to working with her. And she won, so she is now the reigning champion of the Little Riches Rodeo Association Junior Princess, and she goes all over the country doing some things. She's from Troy, Alabama. She was 13 or 14. Dr. Hawkins, she'd be worthy of a scholarship at Troy in about 4 or 5 years.
Nice.
So in town, Dr. Hawkins had another event, really this global reach, local impact. You know, they're the international university. They're having a strong relationship with South Korea. And I met Kim Dae-young and Yeonnam superintendent. He's sort of like the CEO for that district or whatever, the same rank as I am here. And so that was fun. It was a good event. Dr. Hawkins always has a good party. This was College Day. The governor, of course, has a declaration every year right before the first game for us all to dress in colors. Regretfully, I left the office before the picture was made. And the good news is I wasn't wearing a jersey because I went to so many colleges here, I'd get in trouble with different friends. So anyway, that's something to know about. Here's some future events coming. One, for the HBCUs, we have a relationship with Amazon. They're going to come and do some training on artificial intelligence at an event in Huntsville. Board members, you are all welcome to come, especially those of you that are up there. It'll be a nice event, and we want to be real nice to Amazon as they're helping to extend and provide services and stuff for different things. And there's a special event the night before. Let me see if I got a picture of the special event. And Miranda Frost is going to be the host for that event. But then, of course, Miranda's so busy, she's going to be going to India for 2 weeks with ALEAP, the Alabama Economic Education Partners, International Education Partnership. So she's actually going to be in India, but she gave me the keys to her office, and that's where the party's going to be. Love it. So anyway, it's going to be nice. And she's funding the whole party for her group. We do have another AI event that we've done every year for the 3rd year. This one is going to be at the Tuscaloosa, the Higher Ed AI Exchange. So if you're interested in that, you can still register. Now, it says the registration is closed on a certain date, but you guys get a special thing. Activate extended the date, so there's still some opportunity to register. So if you want to go, it's good. You meet a lot of smart people, a lot of nerdy people. But if you're into that, that's fine. And it's important to think about it because AI is coming for your job. There's been a lot of news about Alabama stuff. As you remember, we did a presentation, showed a map that 2/3 of our counties were going to have 25% displacement because of AI. Well, it's coming and it's coming fast. AT&T workers in Alabama are going to lose jobs because of IT. Half of the white collar jobs will be wiped out. Staff, be nice to each other. And then blue collars coming back because of that. And there's a big surge of AI bots in the job market, whatever the heck that means. So one of the things that's required every year is whether we're doing a lot of free speech on campus. All the institutions have to report, indicate that they did provide free speech, and that were there any incidents where there was some violence or untoward pushing or shoving or those kind of things. Everybody did nothing. So there was no free speech given anywhere throughout the state that was interrupted by disruptions. So there. Of course, yesterday Alabama State got a lockdown because of a fake call, and that's a disruption, and that is unfortunate. In a free country, we need to have opportunities to learn and to do things, and to really understand that freedom of speech is for both sides. Both parties need to interact and have dialogue, and if not at a safe place like a college, where do we begin to have those conversations? We certainly don't need to have them in the streets the first time they have a discussion about a particular topic. So anyway, this is important and I commend the campuses. There's all the big rules about how that works. We had a big legislative hearing on performance funding, outcome-based funding. It's been a real good, robust conversation. It'll probably be a mix of paying for keep the lights on and incentive funds. And it's still a work in progress. They've got external experts from out of state coming and speaking, so you'll sort of hear about that. We have $15 million in our budget left over from like 3 or 4 years ago when there was a discussion. So we know at least 15 million would be used this. And this is for the universities. The community college systems have performance funding for probably 5 years. So it's coming to the universities now. SAC COC names a new president. Bill Wheeler was president for a long time. This is the new guy. He is a Auburn University graduate. How about that? So we're excited about that. He's a pretty good fellow. I sent a note to our campuses because there's this wrong button. There is a movement among some of the southern states to have their own accrediting agency, and they were going to start their own. DeSantis has provided some startup money for that organization, and some of the bigger, like SEC type schools, were in that list. What it is, I sent a note to all of our campus presidents, letting them know that there's Alabama law has SACs written into it for scholarships and stuff, and that they should think twice before moving it, or at least maybe if they wanted to change the law, they could try to do that. But there are repercussions if they just willy-nilly change a accrediting agency currently the way Alabama law works. So anyway, that is something we do. This is the preliminary enrollment report. And remember, this is preliminary, but it's sort of like a snapshot of how everything works. So these are your numbers. The final enrollments happen in February. A lot of people have split terms nowadays, or they'll have alternative other type of schedules. 2-year college enrollment. I got some summaries here, microscopic things, but it sort of shows how the undergraduate enrollment changed. And the highlights here are basically that there was everybody gained as a collective, but there were like some institutions that declined somewhat at different levels. There was a 2.1 increase for the universities and a 5.2 increase for the community colleges. Some of it was related to dual enrollment, ups and downs. You sort of saw some big drops in enrollment in different places. And some of that was just dual enrollment. The legislature had a good conversation about dual enrollment last year, and it opened it up more for universities. So some of the changes may be just the rescheduling and reassignment of students going different places, but it'll actually show you which percentage that these students are. So universities had a 20% increase in dual enrollment, and it's 5% of the undergraduates are dual enrollment students. And community college had a 12% increase this year, and 33% of their undergraduates are dual enrollment. So that's how big and important dual enrollment is, helping them graduate and get out early. Madam Chair, those are all the random thoughts that I have. Open for discussion item.
All right, thank you, Dr. Purcell. Next item on the agenda will be presented by Dr. Hood.
All right, a little echo there. Can y'all hear me okay? Good. Okay.
Trying to get the speaker, yeah. Notice.
I stand back here, is that better? All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. It's my pleasure to be with you today to discuss the HBCU Deferred Maintenance Grant Program. This is the 4th year of that grant program. Student Waco. Okay, so this is the fourth year of the HBCU Deferred Maintenance Grant Program. And to quote baseball great Yogi Berra, I know for some of you probably seems like deja vu all over again, right? But since the program began in 2022, we've awarded about $29 million to Alabama's HBCUs for deferred maintenance. And this most recent year, the legislature awarded $5 million through Act 2025-270. And as the name implies, these projects are limited to deferred maintenance as defined by the general upkeep and maintenance of facilities. And AIC was charged with the administration of these grant funds, and we place a priority on projects related to ADA compliance, health and safety compliance. And in prior years, sometimes we have and have not required a institutional matching fund with the state funds, but this year we did do that. This slide looks at some eligible deferred maintenance. I do want to point out that for the purposes of the grant program, we are a little more inclusive than exclusive in terms of deferred maintenance projects. We do provide some flexibility, but in recent years, we've tried to prioritize building preservation in our projects, which relates to roofs, exterior doors, exterior windows, those types of projects, as opposed to aesthetic type projects like entry gates and resurfacing, parking lots, those types of things. So those are some examples of projects that we deal with. These are eligible 14 HBCU institutions, and you've heard me say this before, but Alabama has more HBCU institutions than any state in the union. Georgia has 10 and North Carolina has 10, but Alabama has by far the most. This is an example of this slide looks at our timeline, and you can see that we set a $750,000 cap limit on the funds for this year, which represents about 15% of the total funds. And the reason we set that cap limit is because, as you can imagine, we have a lot of projects that request a lot of money, and this cap limit helps distribute those funds across all 14 institutions. But we had an institutional Z meeting on July the 10th to discuss the grant criteria. All of the 14 institutions did submit grant projects. The institutions actually submitted 28 projects and requested over $9.2 million in funds, which through the grant program, we were able to respond to about 54% of these requests. The Financial Affairs Committee reviewed and finalized those projects on August the 28th, and then the institutions verified those projects on September the 8th. And I want to take a minute here to thank and acknowledge the Financial Affairs Committee. These individuals on the committee were always responsive, always engaged in what we were trying to do. And I just want to acknowledge them and thank them for their time throughout this process. This is what the distribution looks like. And I do want to point out, and as you can see, we did try to balance institutional priority projects with equity. So we tried to achieve equity across institutions and sectors. And you can see that Alabama A&M both received their cap limit. And so they received about 30% of the total funds. The public community colleges received about 33% of the total funds, with an average of about $277,000 per institution. And then the private college universities received about 34% of the total available funds, and their average award was about $280,000. So you can see we did try to achieve equity in that distribution. And this is what the distribution looks like by sector. As I mentioned, the community colleges and the private college universities each received about a third of the funds. The universities received 30%, and then AIC retained 3% in those funds for administrative and contingency costs. Okay, and here's some slides of what the projects look like. We talk about deferred maintenance, but what does that look like on the campuses? So these pictures are examples of some chiller pipe repair work at Bishop State. Bishop State is doing a lot of work with their chillers right now. So these are some examples of some of their underground piping for those chillers. And you can see that those are definitely in need of repair. These are some pictures of a Gadsden State roof project. And that first picture, you can see where water was pooling on the roof. But then that last picture, you can see where, rain is coming over the gutters, and that facility definitely needs a new roof. That's all of these deferred maintenance. Right, so. Madam Chair, that concludes my remarks. I'll be glad to take any questions about the grant program.
Let me just say, we're pleased the legislators passed this, and I want to commend Dr. Hood and the staff for the excellent work on the allocation process. I thought it was very thorough, very astute. So, and I thank the committee for getting this finalized and approved. It's a good thing.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is item 9. We'll be moving into our decision items. Each decision item will be voted on individually. Any questions may be directed to the staff presenter. Our first decision, item A, will be presented by Dr. Jesse Nichols.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning, Commissioners. As you can see on the screen, decision item A suggests the proposed meeting schedule for the Commission for 2026. The dates are as follows: March 13th, June 12th, September 11th, and December 11th. When devising the schedule, 3 factors must be considered. 1, the Commission is required by law to meet once every 3 months, resulting in 4 proposed dates, 1 per quarter. 2, a meeting is necessary in December to adopt a consolidated budget recommendation. And 3, the proposed schedule attempts to avoid most state and federal holidays. With that, the AIC staff recommends these proposed dates as the 2026 Commission meeting schedule and asks for the Commission's approval.
The recommendation for the 26th schedule, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Nichols.
Thank you.
Our next will be presented by Dr. Nichols, the 24-25 annual report.
Thank you again, Madam Chair, and again, good morning, Commissioners. It is an honor and a privilege to present the Alabama's Commission on Higher Education's annual report. This report is more than just a collection of numbers and initiatives. It's truly a testament to the dedication, collaboration, and excellence that defines our work. Before we do begin, I would like to take a moment and extend a sincere thanks to not just everyone here in this room, but also our departments that help ensure that what we share today reflects not only the tremendous scope of what we do, but also the outstanding quality and the impact of that work. So with that, and in accordance with Alabama Code Section 16.5-10, subsection 9, I am proud to present the 2024-2025 AIC Annual Report. And you all should have received a copy on your desk, so please feel free to flip through as we go along, and I will briefly highlight things along the way, and I will ask for questions after the presentation. So, of course, we have everyone's wonderful faces, you guys, the wonderful esteemed commission group as well. It's such an honor to have all of you here today. Message from Commissioner Price, and then, of course, Dr. Jen Purcell. One thing that I want to highlight here is our technological services team did a stellar job in creating this map for us, showing just exactly where our 4- and 2-year institutions are located across the state of Alabama. So truly proud to showcase their work and showcase that we are proudly represented in both the 2- and 4-year sector. One thing that I'm extremely excited about is with our legislative updates this year, we saw yet another historic year in higher education appropriations. In May of 2025, Governor Ivey signed into law a total appropriation, an increase for that matter, totaling $9.9 billion. That's truly quite a significant increase again for the state of Alabama. And we are so proud that she continues to invest not only into our work, but those of our institutions as well. You can see overall, we had 6+% increases all across the board within the actual operating budgets for higher education, and then also in the supplemental funding for higher ed as well. One thing about supplemental funding is that is additional state allocated funds and resources beyond regular operating budgets. So those are the funds that support specific initiatives, capital projects, and emerging needs that may come along per institution. Again, our Advancement in Technology Fund, that was also seeing a great appropriation as well. We like to highlight our 8 board appointments and what Dr. Purcell and his staff sit on and making a difference in higher ed across the state. And then, of course, our consolidated budget recommendations. We do meet and evaluate and conduct budget hearings to gather information and justification for institutional needs. As you can see, we actually requested a 13.1% increase for our 25-26 budgets. We approved a recommendation for 6% increase. And at the end, Act 2025-270, the legislature appropriated a total of $2.2 billion from the ETF to these institutions, resulting in a 6.5% increase across the board, which is quite tremendous. Looking at the facilities master plan and capital projects request, one thing that's great about this in the FY 26-2030 was presented at the December 13 commission meeting. The 2- and 4-year institutions project that they'll need over about $9.6 billion to capital fund projects during this 5-year period. These charts are a great representation of what that money may look like in the total of 2- and 4-year, and then the breakdown of 2 and 4. And looking at academics, we had a total of 36 new degree programs between September 24 and 25 be added. You may note when we shifted a little bit of this reporting, there may have been a few programs last year, but we're seeing an uptick because we've moved this up. So in a couple of the new top program areas of study includes health professions and related clinical sciences, business management, and then of course, computer and information services. As we continue on, our new 4-credit and non-credit degree certificates, both Alabama's 2- and 4-year public institutions developed 87 new non-degree certificates. This included 29 short-term certificates at the community technical college level and 58 undergraduate and graduate certificates at the university level. And both of those charts provide you with a great background and breakdown of what those look like. We look at post-implementation reporting for the year. This is our 7-year monitoring process to ensure that programs meet required benchmarks for enrollment, graduation, and for performance measures. And as you can see, did a pretty stellar job this year, which is great. We always like to see it when the programs succeed and can continue forward. If we take a look at non-resident institutions in Alabama, these are known as NRIs. So they seek authorizations to operate in Alabama through a private school license from ACCS and the Private School Licensure Division. So these are programs that come in and actually can actually operate outside the state of Alabama. And you can see a breakdown of those states there as well. And then, of course, the NC SARA, this is all of your distance education programs as well. They are a private nonprofit organization that helps students access educational opportunities across the board. And right now, that membership currently stands at 41 institutions. So that's pretty amazing. And looking at this, if we take a look at the NC SARA dashboards, we can see a great filter in here for top 5 out-of-state student sources for Alabama, the out-of-state destinations for Alabama students, what type of institutions are these students choosing if they're coming to Alabama, and if they are leaving Alabama, where are they going from there? We can see that the top institutions attended by the students coming into Alabama is Columbia Southern, Troy University, and University of South Alabama, among others. And then also we can look at the Alabama outgoing students institutions as well. We also take a look at the Academic Comment Marketplace. This is a wonderful program that allows students to pursue uncommon academic programs not offered in their home state. So we provide a great breakdown of where these students may be coming in from to take coursework or anything from there. You can see there Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, and other SRE states. Total count of 138 students coming in, which is fantastic. You can also see a couple of the top 10 degree programs attracting those out-of-state students as well. Doctoral Scholars Program with SREB is doing a tremendous job offering supported underrepresented students in earning their PhDs. We look here from 1993 to present, we've had 240 Alabama scholars, 163 graduates, and 143 of those are employed. So 95% plus looking at the SREB Doctoral Scholars Program. Some special initiatives. All right, if you all have been subscribed to the newsletter, you may have gotten to hear about this, but we are extremely excited to be launching the Pathways to Progress initiative. So this is an economic and workforce development that is led here by the commission, but truly the true staple holds behind it is Dr. Patrick Kelly and of course, Dr. Purcell doing the work behind the scenes with the EWNI Workforce Needs Index. Basically what this program is aiming to offer is recognizing the strong regional economies, but assisting institutions or those workforce economies with what they need or what need may be present. FAFSA completions continue to go up. This is the best part. We ranked 12th among the completion rates for the class of 2025. That is a 21% increase year over year for FAFSA completions in the state of Alabama. And we added a little spice to the mix as well. We added a new initiative with our email outreach campaign offering state aid planning tools for students within the integrated email that goes to students who complete the FAFSA and fall under a certain SAI range. So a total of 37,639 emails were sent to Alabama students who completed the FAFSA with that information. We also have some programs that offer student financial assistance here within the commission. A brand new one is ATLAP, the Athletic Trainer Loan Assistance Program. So there was a major need that was shown in for this, and this program assists licensed athletic trainers in repaying their federal student loans while serving in a public K-12 school sector. And of course, it's supporting recruitment efforts for athletic trainers. Obviously, with all of the institutions, guess what we have? A lot of sports. So this money is actually coming from the current AMSTEP program, which you see listed here at the Alabama Math and Science Teacher Education Program. But we are very proud of all of these programs and our accounting department and program department helping us facilitate this and ensure that our students have access to higher ed. Some additional educational support activities. These are everything that falls under a pass-through with the commission, and then of course statewide programs in our budget, including NAIL. And EPSCoR and different things such as that. So that is a great overview. You can see the state appropriations. I will not bore you with reading through all of it. And then let's go to some celebrations. With that, NAIL did celebrate 40 years back on October 3rd. They celebrated 40 years of collaboration, innovation, and shared resources that have strengthened library services across the state. This event was held at Montevallo, University of Montevallo. And as you can see, we had quite the turnout and had a great time. So if you weren't there, you missed out. And then also, of course, saying again, Dr. Purcell receiving the 2025 SHIO Exceptional Leader Award. We are always very proud of him and want to highlight that achievement. As we move into the Building Human Capital, you can see we're going to start off here with the number of Alabama college-ready high school students enrolled full-time. And then, of course, they are college-ready high school grads. And if we're looking at Alabama public high school graduate trends, we have this nice dip. Well, thank you, COVID. But then we are seeing a nice uptick, which is good. So that means good news for everyone coming through the pipeline. And then, of course, improving that access, continuing, looking at that total enrollment, looking at the percentage of students who met ACT college readiness benchmarks. These are numbers I think we should actually be very proud of. They look very fantastic and are continuing to show growth and potential. So to all of the institutions and educators in the room, you're doing a great job. And then, of course, as I mentioned, with those student financial assistance programs, this is an overview of the funding allocations per year over year, and looking at how those funds are being allocated and used. I know with Reengage, we have a certain benchmark level here at 2024. There's 125,000 of earmarked funds that is awaiting completion from the institution. So that's that little caveat there for you all. And then as we move into looking at the number of students transferring from Alabama Public Community Colleges, we take a look here at how many students actually received an associate's degree at that 2-year institution prior to transferring to a 4-year. So that's actually some great numbers and percentages that are coming out of the transfer numbers as well. And as you guys saw, dual enrollment is upticking, which is great. This is fantastic news for all of our high school students. And then of course, those who are wanting to pursue higher education, and looking of the credit hour pieces coming through and taking a look at those transfer students who enroll in STEM programs as well. And then if we take a look, we've got some more percentages of STEM enrollment in Alabama's public institutions. And then, of course, the number and percentage of those graduates that are coming through the public institutions and moving forward. So continuing to see a pretty steady trend there as we move along. If you take a look at the top 10 completions of major for the baccalaureate level, obviously registered nursing programs, business administration, management, psychology, those are all great programs that we're seeing come down and through the pipeline. Interesting note here for the fall enrollment report on the map view. One great thing about this is the percentages of students that are enrolled from Alabama is actually 72%. So that is fantastic in keeping the students here for pursuing higher education degrees. Now, the top feeder state that's coming in is actually Georgia at 5%. So that's very good news. We're starting to attract some talent from that side of the purview. So Still, numbers look fantastic, 195,000, looking at the students in top feeder states and taking a look there. If we take a look at priority 5, organizational effectiveness and efficiency, you can see our breakdown of the ETF appropriations for the year. Take your pick on how you would like to view that, either in the bar chart or the pie chart, but this is a great way to show where all of the allocated money is moving for the next fiscal year. And as I mentioned, we just launched the AIC Impact newsletter. So this actually went out Monday and will be a new quarterly publication that we release that's designed to inform, engage, and connect stakeholders across Alabama about what's going on in higher ed. And most importantly, how are the initiatives and efforts that AIC puts forward helping plant that seed forward and move it forward. And just as we kind of have a few highlights, these are a few things that you will see in the newsletter. So highlighting all of the activity that goes on with AIC, its research fellows, students, of course, our wonderful commission meeting down at USA. Had a great time there, being able to go out and award supplemental funding to some of our institutions, visiting with some of our IR folks at the institutional level. So research services taking a trip over to UWA and helping close any gaps that may be present. So with that, that is your 2024-2025 AIC annual report. And as you can see, we've had a tremendous and impactful year. I will use this time to take any questions. If there are not any questions, I recommend that the commission approve the report as presented.
Got a comment.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Nichols, excellent job.
Thank you.
And I admire your stamina because you did a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to you on your doctorate as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Very encouraging report. The ACT slide in particular, while those numbers aren't where we want them to be, 3 years of progress in every subject is really commendable. And then, of course, personally, I'm very excited to see those health sciences and that BSN at the top of the list as well. So very good report, exceptional delivery, as Commissioner Ragland pointed out. And if there's no other comments or questions, the chair will call for a motion.
So moved.
Have a
Second.
motion, and we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Nichols.
Thank you.
Our next decision item C will be presented by Ms. Veronica Harris.
I am presenting to you today the 2026 operation plan. The purpose of the operation plan is to ensure that the objectives outlined for FY 25-26 appropriation are fully met. Each agency is required to submit a plan for every budget unit, detailing projected expenditures for each quarter of the fiscal year. The commission currently oversees 41 programs across 6 different appropriation units. For FY 26, 4 new programs have been appropriated. While Best and Brightest STEM and Reengage Alabama are not new to the agency, they have previously received funding through supplemental appropriation. But this is the first year they're included in our regular budget. In contrast, Pathways to Progress and the Alabama Law Enforcement Family Scholarship are entirely 2 new initiatives. They have never been in our budget before and administered by AIC. The FY 26 budget reflects a 20.87% increase over the FY 25 budget. The operation plan was submitted on July the 31st. However, if there are any changes made today, we will process them with a revision after October the 1st. On this particular slide, you will see the increases and decreases for FY 26. The most notable increases are the Alabama Law Enforcement Family Scholarship, which is a new program, and Reengage Alabama, which is new in the budget this year. ASAP and Alabama Student Grant and National Guard, three of our student assistance programs, each received $500,000 increases as well. We no longer have the Scottsboro Boys Museum, so that's a decrease of $200,000. And then we have the Pathway to Progress, a new program, $600,000, and the Resource Conservation and Development, $1,925,000. Here you will see the different appropriation units, and as you can see here, that the largest one is right here for 38.91%. That is our student assistance program, so we receive the most for that. And there's a small amount increase there for our planning coordination as well. On this particular slide, you will also see that there was no changes made for our 151 appropriation support of state universities, nor there was any changes made for the deferred maintenance. The amount was the very same, no changes made there, but we did get some for the support of state programs, an increase of 16.14%. Here you see the sources of funds, and you can see that 20.31% is the overall increase for the sources of funds. Here you can see that, again, that the student assistance program is 48.14%. So they got the biggest piece of this pie. And you can also see here that the planning coordination only got 7.95%. And let me point out that under planning coordination, you have O&M, and so that's our operating budget. This is the particular appropriation unit that takes care of all of these 41 programs. So there's very low increase there. On this particular slide, you will see that by category for expenditures, that 90% right here goes to grants and benefits, and only 10% is for the operations of the program. So you can also see that these are the different programs that fall under these different appropriation units as well. And this particular slide will give you your sources of income. And again, you can see that 99% comes from the Education Trust Fund. We only get 1% from local funds that has been from fees of grants, and SARA is part of that local funding. And this concludes the presentation for the operation plan, and we would like for you to approve the 25-26 operation plan. If you have any questions at the time, I would be glad to answer them.
Questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Harris. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
So,
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you again, Ms. Harris. Our next decision, item D, will be presented by Ms. Takina Jones.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone else. Public drawing to determine the order of payment of Alabama Student Grant Program funds for 25-26 academic year. In accordance to the Budget Management Act, Section 41-19-1, Code of Alabama 1975, the State Department of Finance reviews each agency's operation plan to ensure that appropriations have been made for the planned purpose and will not be exhausted before the end of the fiscal year. Therefore, departments are required to distribute appropriations equally among 4 quarters. With this concept, the quarterly appropriate amount for the Alabama Student Grant Program are insufficient to disperse to all institutions. As the funds become available, the order in which institutions receive their fall disbursement is determined by a random and public drawing from first drawn, first paid, to last drawn, last paid. Institution spring disbursement will be reverse order from last drawn, first paid to first drawn, last paid. The purpose of this drawing is to determine the order in which fall grants will be dispersed to 11 participating institutions. We will randomly draw and announce the name of each institution, determine the order today. First school, Faulkner University. Stillman College. Oakwood University. Huntington College. United States Sports University. University of Mobile. Amherst University. Stanford University. Spring Hill College. Miles College. All right, the final school, South University. Staff recommends approval of the order that has been determined.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, ladies. Our next decision item E will be presented by Ms. Takina Jones. Final approval of the administrative procedures for the new chapter 300-4-15 for the Alabama Law Enforcement Officers Family Scholarship.
Morning again.
Take a vote here.
We are putting the procedures.
We get an allocation for this particular scholarship, but the legislation that accompanied it did not pass. So, there really not be an implementation of this. So that's the legislation. Comes back and if they go forward, it will be there. So we're just trying to speed up the process for that.
Understood.
Final approval of administrative procedures for the new chapter 300-4-15 Alabama Law Enforcement Officers Family Scholarship. The purpose of this scholarship is to provide tuition and required educational expenses for eligible dependents of qualifying Alabama law enforcement officers attending in-state accredited post-secondary institutions. Eligible recipients, natural or adopted children, and spouses. Qualifying law enforcement officers must be certified by the Alabama Peace Officers Standards and Training Commission, employed full-time for at least 7 years at one agency, or at least 12 continuous years across multiple agencies in the state of Alabama. Preliminary approval of the proposed administrative procedures were granted by the Commission on Friday, June 13th, 2025. The proposed changes were filed with the Legislative Services Agency on June 18th, 2025, and published in the Alabama Administrative Monthly on June 30th, 2025. Interested parties had until August 15th, 2025 to comment. No comments were received. Should the commission grant final approval to these proposed administrative procedures, the certified administrative procedures will be filed with the Alabama Procedures Office and become effective 45 days after the certification notice is published. Staff recommends the commission to grant final approval of the proposed administrative procedures for the new Chapter 300-4-15 Alabama Law Enforcement Officers Family Scholarship.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Thank you.
Our next decision, item F, will be presented by Ms. Arcola Petway. The final approval of the administrative procedures for the new Chapter 300-4-14 Alabama Athletic Trainer Loan Assistance Program.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, Commissioners. During the 2025 Alabama legislative session, lawmakers passed Alabama Act 2025-337, authorizing aid to establish the Alabama Athletic Trainer Loan Assistance Program. Eligible athletic trainers can now receive federal student loan assistance up to $7,500 per year worked or $3,750 per semester worked for a maximum of 4 consecutive years. Implementation of this program will begin fall 2025 semester and moving forward. So the purpose of this program is to encourage recruitment and retention of licensed athletic trainers at qualifying public K-12 schools or school systems in the state of Alabama, to provide federal student loan assistance to eligible athletic trainers through the Alabama Math and Science Teacher Education Program, to establish eligibility requirements and procedures for the participants, and to develop an accountability and evaluation plan. Preliminary approval of the proposed administrative procedures were granted by the Commission on Friday, June 13, 2025. The proposed changes were filed with the Legislative Services Agency on June 18 and published in the Alabama Administrative Monthly on June 30th. Interested parties had until August 15, 2025 to make comments. No comments were received. Should the commission grant final approval to these proposed administrative procedures, the certified administrative procedures will be filed with the Alabama Procedures Office and will become effective 45 days after the certification notice is published. So with that, Madam Chair, staff recommends the commission to grant final approval of the proposed administrative procedures for the new chapter, the Alabama Athletic Trainer Loan Assistance Program.
You've heard the staff recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Petway.
Thank you.
Next item is item G. We'll begin our academic programs. This item will be presented by Dr. McGill, and the first program is from Auburn University.
Good morning, Chair Price and everyone. Got a great slate of programs for you today, starting with Auburn University is proposing a Doctor of Philosophy in Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences. This would be an academically focused research program that grows out of Auburn's existing offerings for audiology, which is a professional licensure program, and also a Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Both of those are fields that are in demand, but don't have enough faculty members to produce more graduates to fulfill the licensure positions. And so this program is designed to help support that pipeline. It will require a substantial reallocation on the part of Auburn University to support the program of up to somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000 annually that will cover 2 new faculty positions and also assistantships for graduate students. What's not reflected in your business plan, however, is the external funding that Auburn is expecting to gain for this program. Having a doctoral program attracts more external funding for research and so forth. And so some of this reallocation they expect to offset with additional sponsored research funds. There will also be funds required to support additional equipment and facilities. There is accreditation already for the university for their licensure programs, but the PhD itself will not need any specialized accreditation. And with that, staff is recommending approval for this program.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The next program will be from JSU, presented by Dr. McGill.
Thank you, Chair Price. We've got colleagues from JSU here in case there are any questions. The proposed program is a Master of Science in Forensic Investigation. JSU currently has related offerings at the baccalaureate level in forensic investigation and criminal justice, and also a master's program in criminal justice, and a Center for Applied Forensics on campus that this program will be cooperating with and using some of the lab facilities for. It distinguishes itself from other forensic science programs because of its focus on the investigative process, crime scene analysis, interviewing, legal procedures. It sounds very exciting, like an episode of CIS or something like that. So there is in-demand occupations that this will help produce graduates for detectives and criminal investigators, and that is why we see so many letters of support for this program from law enforcement agencies and other potential partners. And there will be some additional costs for 1 new faculty member starting in year 2, but JSU is only expecting some modest reallocations to cover these costs, and the rest will, be covered by tuition. With recommending approval for the program.
We've heard the staff recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The next program is from Troy University and will be presented by Dr. McGill.
Thank you, Chair Price. Troy University is proposing a Doctor of Chiropractic in Chiropractic, and we've got president here and provost, and I'm sure the president would like to say something after I present my initial overview, if he would like, or if there are any questions. So the program, Doctor of Chiropractic in Chiropractic, would be, are we okay? We're good, okay. Would be implemented in fall 2027. There are a couple of extra post-implementation conditions related to the program because this will require, it will be a licensure program, and it does need to go through a specialized accreditation process through the Council on Chiropractic Education. Graduates from the program would then need to sit for the licensure exam and be registered with the state licensure board, which is the Alabama State Board of Chiropractic Examiners. That board has sent a letter of support for the program, along with the Alabama State Chiropractic Association, and also to economic development entities from the Dothan Chamber and the Houston City Commission. The program would be delivered primarily at Troy University's Dothan campus in Houston County. And so therefore the chamber and the county commission are indicating that this will be a boon for the economic development in the area. There will require substantial investments in the program. So the second additional condition we put on it is that there would be a preliminary post-implementation report due in 2029, just to make sure the program is on track with its business plan and its accreditation requirements. The initial investment from Troy University is projected at $1.6 million to support 11 new full-time faculty and 4 new part-time faculty, which would soon be recovered by the tuition that they would get from students enrolled in the program. Additionally, the state legislature has made an investment of $475,000 to support healthcare facilities that would be at the Dothan campus to support this program. All new coursework would be required for students to complete over 10 semesters, including 1,000 hours of clinical coursework to support the doctorate. And Troy is projecting that the program will enroll 30 students per year. Dr. Hawkins, did you want to say anything about this program and its potential impacts in Dothan?
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for great staff reports and for the work the commissioners do. As I was sitting here, I was thinking, I knew all the commissioners and our executive directors back to Clanton Williams. So I've watched the evolution of this commission and I commend you because I think you you do great work. And I want to thank you on behalf of all the colleges and universities in here. It's certainly an exciting time for this particular program. There's only one other doctor of chiropractic medicine program in this country at a public institution, and that's being stood up today at the University of Pittsburgh. There is great excitement, including the excitement of Dr. Marnik Hirsig in the Dothan community. And so we're pleased about this. I want to commend Dr. LeGarry Carter, the Dean of our College of Health Sciences, for not only bringing this to the table, but also doing great work in laying the framework or creating the framework and foundation for it. We're excited about it. I think there's a need across this country for professionals in this area. We have just learned that there will be representatives should you approve this, and there's a press conference coming up in the next week or two, and the American Chiropractic Association is actually sending representatives to participate in it. So we appreciate your consideration, and certainly we appreciate all the good work all of you do. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you've heard the staff recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. The program is approved. The next program from the University of Alabama is presented by Dr. McGill, a Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence.
Thank you, Chair Price. The University of Alabama is proposing a Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence, which will be housed in the College of Engineering. It's related to offerings that are already in the computer science department, which include a bachelor's, master's, and PhD, and also a PhD in data science. Obviously, artificial intelligence has its own discipline that is growing and attracting economic development in Alabama, which is one of the reasons that University of Alabama has volunteered to host our next artificial intelligence exchange that you heard Dr. Purcell mention earlier. That's coming up on the 22nd of October. The Master of Science will be related to and grow out of those offerings and also potentially provide a pathway into the PhD in computer science. The university has related research developments, especially through the Center for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. They are also building a high-performing computing center, and so students in this program would be able to take advantage of those resources. The university proposes 2 new tenure track positions and 2 new non-tenure track positions to support the curriculum, and these faculty hires would be offset by the funds garnered from tuition. And with that, staff is recommending approval for this program.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The second program from the University of Alabama is presented by Dr. McGill, a Master's of Science in Translational Science and Medicine.
Excellent. Thank you, Chair Price. I was pleased to have the opportunity to visit the University of Alabama and particularly the labs that are related to this program, the MS in Translational Sciences and Medicine at the Catalyst Day they held earlier this summer. And so the lab itself does advanced drug discovery research, and the translation that they talk about is from this kind of initial stage of discovering what a new potential chemical could be for medical use, and then testing through various clinical trials so that it can then be accepted and implemented. So that's what I learned all sorts of things about translational science. So thank you all for hosting me there. This particular degree program offers thesis and non-thesis pathways. It is related to PhD program track in interdisciplinary studies that focuses on advanced drug discovery and would prepare graduates both for a PhD study if they want to continue that way, or for careers as medical scientists. And those are in demand within the state. The costs for the program are specifically for half of a faculty member. The other half of the faculty member will be assigned to, I always think half of a faculty member, right? But the other half is assigned to the Center for Convergent Biosciences and Medicine, which is the external research arm related to this degree, and also to graduate assistantships. There are letters of support from industry leaders, including Merck, Spire Therapeutics, and Astrea Therapeutics, which are the kinds of firms that would then, help to develop the drugs and hire graduates potentially. With this, staff is recommending approval for the Master of Science in Translational Science and Medicine.
Thank you, Dr. McGill. Is there a motion to approve the staff recommendation?
Before the motion, can I ask a question?
Well, let's get a motion in a
Okay.
second, then we'll open it for questions.
So moved.
Second,
Yes, sir.
I'm really curious about this translational concept. Is it you're looking at new, how should I say, pathways of terminology into the medical field?
So I know that the University of Alabama has someone here. They may also have someone online. So I'm sure they will jump in if I go off track here. But so if you're talking about pathways for students, then one of the primary feeders for this program is going to be students who are seeking admission into medical school or other pre-medicine type programs, pre-professional medical programs, who want to get more lab work, bench work before they go into those professional programs. But in terms of the actual work that's being done in the labs, this can also lead to careers in medical sciences. So then this is a lot of it's focused on chemistry and biology at the molecular level that is then testing to see how these drugs affect human bodies and that sort of thing. Is that, I kind of went two directions there.
I think it's fascinating.
Yes. Did I get it? Okay. Nobody wants to hop in from online. Okay.
I can add, I mean, if you're okay with, probably, I think if I understood the question correct, what this translation science is about, I think is the question. So if either terminology or is there anything different that's being done? I think this program is trying to cater.
Any other comments or questions?
Was Hudson Alpha part of this support system?
I did not receive any letter from Hudson Alpha related to this. Right. And one would hope that the ecosystem would grow. So noted.
Second on the table, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion carries. The program is approved. The next program will be from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, presented by Dr. McGill, a Master of Science in Higher Education Intercollegiate Athletics Administration.
Thank you, Chair Price. It's a mouthful. And we do have individuals from the department at UAB who can answer questions about this program. The Master of Science in Higher Education Intercollegiate Athletics Administration would be one of, if approved, would be one of 3 programs that would be offered within the SREB region, and the only one offered in the state of Alabama. The others are at the University of Oklahoma and Clemson University. The goal of the program is to meet the need for specialized administrative training related to higher education athletics. Think about the era of NIL, and we all know the issues with transfer portal, all the things that affect the ways that higher education athletics has evolved recently. There is an increasing demand for specialized knowledge that goes beyond what would normally be offered in a sports management program or in a higher education administration program. So the particular curriculum that UAB has developed in the College of Education and Human Sciences has some backbone of higher education administration, including student affairs. It also has coursework from the kinesiology and sports management programs, sports psychology, and the goal is to produce individuals who can meet this new need. Because it's related to existing offerings, there are no new resources needed until year 4, which would be for a new full-time faculty member should the enrollment grow to need that faculty member. And there have been letters of support received for this from UAB Athletics, but also some athletic entities that are in the Birmingham area. And with that, staff is recommending approval for the program.
Recommendation, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The second program from UAB is presented by Dr. McGill, the Master of Science in Applied Nutrition.
Excellent. Thank you, Chair Price. The Master of Science in Applied Nutrition is related to existing offerings at UAB. One at the undergraduate level is a Bachelor of Science in Biobehavioral Nutrition and Wellness. And then also at the master's level is the MS in Nutrition Sciences, which is the licensure program for registered dietitian nutritionists. So that's always a hard word to say. This program that's being proposed for applied nutrition is not intended to be a licensure program, but is intended to prepare individuals for community nutrition positions or general wellness positions that do not require licensure. It may be a home for some individuals who are either not seeking licensure or need to get more prerequisite training before they can go and seek that RDN credential. Because it's related to existing offerings, there are minimal costs, only for one new part-time faculty member who will be co-teaching online courses with existing faculty member. And staff is recommending approval for the program.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
We have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The third program from UAB is presented by Dr. McGill, a Master of Science in Exercise Physiology.
All right, thank you, Chair Price. This program is related to, again, existing programs. UAB currently offers a Master of Science in Kinesiology with a concentration in exercise physiology. So this degree program would grow out of the concentration. That does mean that UAB would expect fewer students to graduate from the existing MS and kinesiology program. So we have put an extra post-implementation condition that program continue to maintain viability, which we don't expect to be any problem for them. The other additional post-implementation condition is for accreditation through the Committee on Accreditation for Exercise Sciences, COACE, which is within the Commission on Accreditation for Allied Health Programs. And you've heard us present this accreditation before for the University of West Alabama at a recent meeting. And I feel like there was another one recently. So the same condition will apply to the UAB program. There are costs, minor costs associated with accreditation and also for 2 new faculty positions. The accreditation is needed not for professional licensure, which is not an issue in Alabama, but for the national certification through the American College of Sports Medicine. And staff is recommending approval for this program.
You've heard the staff recommendation. Do we have a motion?
Say no.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The 4th program from the University of Alabama at Birmingham is presented by Dr. McGill, Bachelor of Science in Medical Laboratory Science.
Thank you, Chair Price. This Bachelor of Science in Medical Laboratory Science, again, is related to existing offerings. UAB did offer a laboratory at the bachelor's level until 2015. And at that point, they closed the bachelor's program to focus on their graduate programs, including a program intended to lead to professional certification in medical laboratory technology, which is at the master's level. But there is now increased demand for these medical laboratory scientists, and so UAB is looking to open its undergraduate program again. The graduates from this program would be certified to sit for professional certification through the American Society for Clinical Pathology or the American Medical Technologists Association. And the clinical laboratory technologists are on the in-demand occupations list. There is some cost for 1 new full-time faculty member and modest cost to expand the equipment beyond what's offered for the existing graduate programs. Now, with that, staff is recommending approval for this program.
The chair entertains a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The next program will be from the University of Alabama in Huntsville, presented by Dr. McGill, the Bachelor of Science in Cyber Operations Technology.
Muted. There we go. There we go. All right, and we have folks from the University of Alabama in Huntsville here to speak if there are any questions. This program, Bachelor of Science in Cyber Operations Technology, was developed as a transfer pathway with the Alabama Community College System, which is always exciting to see. There are about 250 students graduating with Associate of Applied Science, AAS degrees. Oh, we got to go back one. Okay, cyber, here we go. So it's 250 folks who are at the community college system graduating with Associate in Applied Science in CIS, which would be the feeder for this program. They are not necessarily fully prepared with the prerequisites to go into a bachelor's degree in computer science, and this pathway is set up especially to accommodate some of the applied credit that is taken at the associate level. And the coursework has been developed 100% online, including 12 new courses that are designed to prepare for industry certifications through CompTIA and other industry partners. There is a greater focus on hands-on and practical application of the cyber learning, which is why they put operations in the title. The costs for the program include 3 part-time clinical faculty, which UH said they already have relationships with the Cummings Research Park and other facilities up in the Huntsville area to support the program. Some staff, new servers, and graders for online coursework. It is not expected to draw students away from the existing computer science program pathways, which are more intended for students who start at UAH and continue. And with that, staff is recommending approval for the program.
The motion to approve the staff recommendation.
So moved.
The second to approve. Any questions or comments?
Quick question, is there an industry licensure associated after this degree?
There are industry certifications that are optional, but they are not required. So when you hear me using licensure, that means the state has to authorize you to hold a position. And usually that's in fields where, medical type fields. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. Program from the University of Alabama at Huntsville is presented by Dr. McGill, the Bachelor of Science in Game Design.
Okay, so the last one for me, and it's an interesting one, from the University of Alabama in Huntsville, currently offers a minor of undergraduate level in game design. And this would elevate that minor coursework into a full standalone major. There is no major program that's directly related, although UAH does offer a BFA in art with concentration in digital animation, but not the same as game design. So therefore, we didn't feel the need to put an additional condition on it. But in the game design major, the university has 40 students enrolled in the capstone program, so a healthy enrollment pipeline. It's built on multidisciplinary curriculum that includes training from computer science, English, music, because games have music, studio art, and art history. There would only be 4 new courses for the program. And the university intends to seek specialized accreditation through the National Association for Schools of Art and Design, NASHA. There would be opportunities for the students to pick a particular area of specialization from one of 6 tracks. And those tracks are developed in association with other departments: business, writing, communications, coding, user experience, or art. In particular, one thing that stood out was the serious games. We had a couple of reviewers say, what are these? Are these what's unserious games? But serious games being that genre of games that is intended for professional training. So think about simulations, especially relevant in the defense industry. But then also there are uses that are more traditionally for recreational games. And with that, staff is recommending approval for this program.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
So. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments? All in favor of approving, say aye. Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. Thank you, Dr. McGill. The next program from Bishop State Community College will be presented by Ms. Kristen White, the Associate of Applied Science and Aviation Manufacturing Technology.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning. This program at Bishop will build on their existing certificate program in aviation manufacturing, but it will provide a more comprehensive education to prepare graduates for roles such as aircraft mechanics and service technicians, which are included on the 24-25 statewide in-demand list. The Gulf Coast region is part of the 3rd largest aviation corridor in the world, with major employers including Airbus and Collins Aerospace. These companies require a skilled workforce proficient in areas like aircraft maintenance, avionics, and manufacturing processes. Students in the program will learn to assemble, fit, and install parts of aircraft such as fuselage, wings, and landing gear, using hand tools, power tools, and assembly jigs. There are no other community colleges in the state that currently offer a program at this CIP. You've heard us present a lot of programs for airframe technology and power plant technology, which are similar programs, but they do not have the same aerospace and aeronautical engineering technology and production associated with those programs. This new associate pathway will also extend the direct hire programs that Bishop State currently has in place with Airbus, and it may create an opportunity to establish registered apprenticeships in aviation. Bishop anticipates about 2.2 million needed to cover faculty and equipment expenses over the first 7 years, and they expect to generate 3.8 million in tuition in that same time period. And staff is recommending approval of this program.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments?
I would just say Ann and I are both from the southwest part of the state, and we see on the news all the time. It's just unbelievable.
It is.
The growth, and not just Mobile, but over into Baldwin
Yeah.
County, the
The
companies that
aviation.
have opened up to support the aviation. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just amazing
Yeah.
what's going on.
it is.
It gets too full in North Alabama.
Get to Central East Alabama.
We got it for the moment.
Yes.
Any other comments or questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The next program from Calhoun Community College is presented by Ms. Kristen White, the Associate of Applied Science in Theater Design, excuse me, in Theater Design and Technology.
This program will provide graduates with a baccalaureate pathway into Athens State University's Bachelor of Fine Arts program with a concentration in production design, or it will prepare the students for immediate entry-level employment should they choose not to continue on with a bachelor's degree. The program will include instruction in set design, lighting design, sound effects, theater acoustics, scene painting, property management, costume design, technical direction and production, and use of computer applications to support those functions. Courses in the program will be predominantly hands-on to prepare graduates for the field and help them build portfolios to highlight their areas of expertise upon graduation. The program will be delivered at the Alabama Center for the Arts in Decatur. It will share resources with the existing theater concentration and require no new funds to implement. There are currently no similar degree programs in the state of Alabama as the one we are presenting today. Staff is recommending approval of this program.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments?
Comment, I think that this is a really critical program that I would love to see trickle down into the K-12 career and technical education pathways.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The next item from Reed State Technical College, presented by Ms. Kristen White, is an instructional role change and name change to Reed State Community College.
In March 2025, the Community College System Board of Trustees approved a revised mission for Reed State Technical College to include academic programs designed for transfer to university, and in June 2025, received full accreditation by SAC-COC. In addition, the college requests an associated name change from Reed State Technical College to Reed State Community College to reflect the institution's updated role and scope. Expanding its instructional role to include academic transfer pathways will broaden access for current students to associate degrees in preparation for bachelor's programs and enable dual enrollment students to earn transfer credits. Offering a broader array of general education courses will allow the college to strengthen partnerships with local high schools to promote dual enrollment, early college programs, and seamless transitions into associate and bachelor's degree pathways. Reed will initially seek to offer 2 transfer-aligned associate degree programs, which we will present next. And Reed State President, Dr. Coretta Boykin, is here to offer a few words on this change.
To Chairwoman and all of the districts here today. So, I could not pass up this moment to just say some positive things about Reed State and what we're doing in the state, and specifically in our community and region. This is truly a remarkable opportunity for us as an institution, but as a community college. I can remember at the age of 23 as a new employee at Reed State and sitting in a meeting one day, Dr. Philip Colabras, Dr. Vicki Harlowitz came to Reed State and offered some opportunity for us to learn more about getting SAC-COC. Flash forward or move forward several years, and I had the opportunity to become president there. And I knew at that moment, we started so many years ago, that it was our time to give our community and the students that attend Reed State the opportunity to move forward and receive academic transfer credit. So I want to definitely take a moment to recognize Dr. Linda Colabras, who worked so tirelessly to support our efforts in SAC-COC. I also want to mention our Dean of Students, Dean of Instruction, who's here, Mr. Ginger Glass, who also worked hard in making sure this day was possible. To Trish and all the people at ACCS, it is a dream come true, not only for me, but for our community. I want to say that my mom many years ago went back to Reed State, and she truly changed my perspective on higher education. She was one that did not complete high school, but she had an opportunity to go back to school, earn her GED, take up cosmetology at Reed State, started her business over 30 years ago, and still has successful running business. So at Reed State, we say that we transform lives and we change generation. Our family was changed because of the work that's been done at Reed State. Now we continue to grow even more by offering many more generations the opportunity to continue education in the state of Alabama. So thank you for this opportunity, and we look forward to doing more.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Okay, staff?
Recommendation.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion in the second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The instructional role and name change is approved. The second program from Reed State, well, we're going to say technical college, but it's time to say community college, is presented by Ms. Kristen White, the Associate of Arts and Academic Transfer.
Okay, the next two programs will fall under the new instructional role that you've just approved for Reed State Community College. The first one, an Associate of Arts and Academic Transfer, is designed as a pathway for students to transfer to a four-year institution and complete a bachelor's degree in a liberal arts or humanities field. This program can also directly lead to entry-level jobs in a variety of occupations, including administrative assistant, customer service representative, and social and human service assistant. A total of $1.2 million will be required to establish both of the transfer degree programs. The majority of those funds will be used to hire 2 additional full-time and 4 additional part-time faculty to support both of the programs. Reed anticipates a total of $90,000 in reallocations, grants and donations will be needed over the first 7 years to help support the program. And they expect it to generate about $1.6 million in tuition in that same time period. And staff is recommending approval of the program.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the recommendation.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. The third program from Reed State Community College, presented by Mrs. Kristen White, is the Associate of Science and Academic Transfer.
Okay, everything previously stated about the Associates of Arts program applies to this program, with the exception that this one is designed as a pathway for students to transfer to a four-year institution and complete a Bachelor of Science degree in a STEM field. This program can also directly lead to entry-level jobs in a variety of STEM-related occupations, including roles in computer science, healthcare, and engineering technology. And with that, staff is recommending approval of this program.
The chair entertains a motion to approve the recommendation.
So. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor of approving, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The program is approved. Thank you, Ms. Scott. The next item on our agenda is item H, our information items. The information items 1 through 7 are normally accepted or not accepted by the commission as a whole. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the items collectively.
So moved.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The information items are accepted. I'd like to take a quick point of privilege before we adjourn and say it has been my honor and pleasure to work with the commission for the last 9 years. It has truly been a wonderful experience working with some of the most educated and professional people of the commission. The staff are amazing, efficient, to be commended for the work you're doing on behalf of Alabama and higher ed. And Dr. Purcell, your leadership is evident in everything that happens here. So thank you all for the opportunity to serve alongside you. It's been my pleasure, and I look forward to keeping up with your great work and turning over the reins here to Commissioner Nelson. So thank you again. Right.
Did you know, like,
Sir.
for you, the honorable
So,
just joking.
the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All right, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.